Overall, I think the bike was absolutely amazing. Actually exceeded my expectations a lot. Alright, so I'm Tyler. I'm the owner of the 2023 Lifing KPM 200, and I'm going to be looking at the Kymco Spade 150. Off the bat, I think the bike looks perfect. I stand at 5'9", so the height of the bike, how small it is, doesn't intimidate me at all. I actually like how small it is. I think everything on the bike looks great. The wheelbase is super nice. The comfort on it, standing and sitting, they're both very comfortable for me. Again, I'm very short. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so sitting on a bike like this is actually very comfortable for me. Also like how the handlebars are. They're not too wide and they're not too narrow. I've ridden the Grom before and those are, a little bit more narrow. You kind of have it a little bit more tucked, and I like this. The bike is super light, kind of compared to the KPM 200. It's about 230 pounds. So actually the weight on these is actually fairly similar then. So actually really nice bike. Mine is a little bit bigger, but it has that cafe kind of more cruiser style. This is that mini Moto look, but everyone loves it. The gauge and the controls on this bike are fairly, simple. So no fuel gauge and no gear indicator. Honestly, not really a big problem for me. Normally with the bike that I own, even though it does have a fuel gauge, I've always been the type of person to just check it either way. So that's not really a big issue for me. Same thing with the gear indicator. I barely look at my gears like some people do. So with that being said, I don't really think this bike would cause me any issues in that sense. Yeah, so the tires are 12-inch tires. Nice brake disc. I like the brakes on these a lot, actually. Kind of a little bit more than mine. The passenger capabilities on this I wouldn't put a passenger on the back of this, but then again, I don't really think people buy mini motos to have a passenger, so that's not really a big issue. Overall, I think the bike was absolutely amazing. Actually exceeded my expectations a lot. I kind of expected the bike to be a little bit slower, a little bit less in torque compared to mine because it is bigger, but I guess that's not the case with this. I really did like it. A couple things that I would say I loved is the seating position. For me, I'm 5'9", so I really enjoyed the way I sat, and it was very comfortable for me. To be quite honest, a little bit more comfortable than my KPM. A couple things that I would say I wasn't too fond about was I have small hands, so the clutch was a little bit far out for me, so finding that friction zone was a little bit difficult, but it wasn't anything that I wasn't able to do. I loved how it shifted. It was very smooth. Honestly, felt a lot more smoother than my bike. My bike tends to sometimes feel a little bit clunky. It's not too bad. And I also like the way the rear brake is positioned. On the KPM 200, it kind of sits level with the foot peg. So whenever you're riding, sometimes I feel like I can't really rest my foot as well as I'd like because I feel like I'm going to accidentally press on it. With the Spade, I was able to comfortably let my foot just kind of sit and rest without having to worry about if it's going to hit it or if I'm going to accidentally slap the brake. Now, the throttle on it, again, was great. It's not super loose and it's not too tight to where I feel like I have to, kind of gas it up a little bit too much or raise the RPMs too much. Everything else, I love the bells. I love the accessories. The mirrors on it were super clean. Even though they are aftermarket, it was very easy to kind of look and see with people behind me. I wasn't having to look over my shoulder. Overall, I did like the bike. The gears not being shown on the screen wasn't an issue for me. Overall, I think the bike is great, and would I buy it at MSRP about just above $3,000? To be quite honest, no, I wouldn't. But would I buy it for used about $2,000? Yes, I definitely would. I think this is a great bike for people who are just getting into riding, or for someone like my girlfriend who is kind of intimidated by those bigger bikes. I think this could definitely be something that you could be interested in.
Big shout out to Tyler for testing and reviewing my bike. If you want to see me review his KPM 200, click this video right here. And if you want to see more videos about this bike, click this playlist right here.
Rapping when they own me to sing on. They all want an album, so I gave them 20 singles.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a hit, that's why I swing.